How is everybody doing, and welcome back. Today I just was thinking about some things while I was hauling stone and doing some other stuff, and I put together kind of a list of my loves and hates. There's a couple of them that are on there twice because I love to hate it, basically. So I just kind of wanted to go through that and tell you kind of my loves and hates of my truck, the things that I do like, the things that I don't like, and just kind of share that with you and go over those items. I do have my hitch back in there. I'm going to be hooking up my trailer and using it for the first time tonight to go pick up a mower of my friend's that he wants me to service it. So I'm going to be hooking the trailer up and seeing how it sits. This is in the lowest setting. I may need to raise it up a little bit. I don't really know, but I just started there because that's what I measured for the time being. So got it set to 2 inches and at the lowest setting, which is 15 inches. So anyway, we'll get right into this list. I actually put it in my notes of my phone so I would remember them. So as far as some of my hates, I have a FASS on my truck. I have a red top. Now, it's not that I hate the product, it's this, I dislike the company. You know, this is my first diesel truck. I've owned it for just a little over a year now. I'm learning things pretty rapidly, but there's some things I still don't know. In the beginning, there are some questions and stuff I had about the FASS fuel system and some of the things that it was doing. You know, I called them up, and I'm sorry, their customer service, as far as I'm concerned, sucks. I talked to a few of them at a show I was at, and their heads was about as big around as my tires as far as their products. So for me, just like with the hitch company, you know, that turns me off 100%. I will go, probably the next lift pump that goes on my truck will be probably the Air Dog or another one from the guys out in Texas from Enthusiast Performance. They have developed their own. I probably will try one of theirs possibly also. It looks like a pretty nice unit. So I mean, that's one of the things that one of my hates thus far is, you know, the FASS. It's not because of the product, it's because of the company, and that just, you know, that's turns me off just 100%. The next item is a love-hate relationship. And what I mean by a love-hate relationship is my 4th gen bumper. I love the way it looks on the truck, but what I hate is the fitment as far as the bottom of the headlights and the grill. Now, I am going to be running a sport grill to close this up a little bit, but I'm going to change things up a little bit, and I'm going to come through here. There's a video I have in the collection called Closing the Gap, and I'm going to cut this off here and then back through here this way. And then I'm going to weld pieces in on top and make this flat all the way across, and then raise it up to the bottom of the headlights and the bottom of the grill to recreate that 2nd gen look that's, you know, on top of the traditional factory bumpers. So that's one thing I'm going to go through, and that's kind of a love-hate relationship that I have with that. Let's see, I'm going to go through my next item is the cab and a half. You know, my last truck was a crew cab, and I went down to a cab and a half, and I really miss having the crew cab. Probably my next truck is either going to be a 3rd gen or a 4th gen. I'm not 100% certain which one that I want yet, but I'm just kind of thinking. But I love the 2nd gen. The body style of the 2nd gen is awesome. There is some 4th gens out. I'm sorry. There is some crew cab 2nd gens out there that they've done conversions on. And there is some talk. I've never really saw or heard them. Supposedly there's a European model that they had brought from overseas that is a factory crew cab. So, you know, if you guys know anything about that, put it in the comments below and let me know. I just, you know, hearsay that I've heard. The only thing I've ever saw is, you know, the guys doing conversions as far as doing a crew cab on the 2nd gens. Actually, there's a guy right down the road from me. I want to go down and look at it. He has a stripped crew cab. Now, what I mean by stripped is it doesn't have a doghouse on it. It doesn't have a bed on it. It's just the cab. So and the chassis, basically. He has one of those in his garage, and I want to go down there and take a look at that and see how they've done it and how they've stretched it. He thinks that whoever did this is a company out of Texas, and they actually made the doors for that truck. So one of these days I met him. I've been drive by his house pretty much on a daily basis, but I actually saw him over at Harbor Freight last week when I was there trying to find the ball joint press, and saw his truck, so I kind of waited in the parking lot and stalked him a little bit and talked to him. So anyway, that was one of the things that is a hate also. The next thing is the headlights. You know, the headlights is also a love-hate relationship. I love the look of them, but I hate that there's no adjustability to them. You know, I put these headlights in, and there's supposed to be an adjustment right up in there. I don't know if you can see or not. Looks like a flat star washer basically with a Phillips head. That's supposed to be the adjustment for the headlights, but you can turn that for days and it does nothing. So somebody had told me that it is actually it's not within compliance of the headlights to have them not be adjustable. So I don't know if they put that on there to meet compliance. I really have no idea. I probably will go off subject and add more. I mean, I could look at this list and go on for days and days and days. So of different likes and dislikes, but I mean, we all could do that with all of our vehicles if you really want to think about it. The next thing is also a love-hate relationship, and that's going to be the MV 5600. My truck is a 6-speed. It does have the MV 5600, which is great. It's the bigger output shaft. There is some guys that have the MV 4500 and they'll upgrade the output shaft and go with the bigger output shaft like what's in the 5600. So I'm lucky on that part. What I'm saying, why I feel that it's a love-hate relationship is I don't mind shifting gears, but my last truck was also an automatic. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, when I had that little car that I was driving while my truck was being fixed and my truck was down, it was pretty nice not having to shift gears. But I mean, basically on a daily basis you get used to it and you really don't mind it. So that's kind of one of those things I was talking about is also a love-hate relationship. Whoops. Next thing is going to be probably the body style, as far as one of the things that I love. Pretty much through the hates. The last hate that I had was kind of the puke tube up front. I like a nice, clean, smooth look, and that's why if it doesn't go the way I want it to, as far as, you know, something under the hood, I'm going to do away with the venting in the front timing cover, and I'm going to vent it someplace else and go with the common rail. It's just a cap that goes on there over, be my VP44 on there would be the CP3. It's just a cap that goes on there. You put it on with like I think a 1/2-inch drive, if I'm not mistaken, or 3/8 drive. I can't remember which it is, but it's the same housing and same cover. It just, you put a cap on there instead of having your breather on there with your puke tube up front. So I'm going to do away with that and do some different venting. And that was kind of the last thing. Like I said, I could go through there and think of different things for days, as far as things that I love and how love and like, hate and love, whatever you want to say. Body style, as far as one of the things that I like, actually I love it. This is my favorite body style out of any Dodge truck that they've ever done so thus far. I mean, the first gens are pretty nice, but the second gens is my favorite body style. You know, again, I love the way they look. I love the sidelines on them. Just everything about the second gen just has struck me since they come out in 1994. This is actually my third second gen that I've owned. My first Cummins. I owned a 94, I owned a 2001, and now I own a 2002. So like I said, I really like them because I've owned 3 of them. The other one that I had was the big headlight 3rd gen. So that's just how I distinguish between the 3rd gens. They have the small headlight, then they have that big headlight 3rd gen. That's just how I distinguish between those two generations of Dodge trucks. The next thing that I like, the fact that the bed is Line-X'd. I use my truck quite a bit, and I like the fact that whoever had this had it Line-X'd. The only issue is back here. You know, I just don't think they didn't do very good prep work there. And whoever, you know, the kid that had it before me, he was afraid that was rust underneath there, so he took a knife and cut that bubble out of there. I was under the impression that Line-X had a lifetime guarantee or lifetime warranty, and you know, I called them up to see if I could get that patched, and they said no, they couldn't take care of it because it was coated in California. So one thing that the guy told me who did do my paint work at that body shop, they use scorpion lining, and theirs is guaranteed no matter where you live or where you had it coated. If you had it coated in California with a scorpion lining and you brought it back to Ohio, if there was a manufacturing problem, they'll take care of it no matter what country, city, state that you're in. So anyway, that's just a quick video of some of the things that I love and hate about my truck. I can, like I said, you know, I've said it 3 or 4 times throughout this video. I can go on and talk about it for probably the next 3 or 4 hours, but it would get pretty boring and you guys would not want to see that. So anyway, I did pick up some more oil there for my front diff, so I need to get that taken care of also. So for right now, guys, that's pretty much all I have. I do appreciate you watching. If you have not already done so, hit that subscribe button, become part of my family, and once again, thank you very much yesterday for the shout out, Pure Panorama. I do appreciate it. I hope that Gates gator belt and belt tensioner works out pretty good for you. We'll talk to you guys later on. Bye-bye.